Keeping the World Running, the Daily Struggles of Indian IT Support Staff. So this podcast will focus on the daily struggles of Indian IT support staff who work tirelessly to keep the world running, often at a cost of their mental and physical health. The podcast will highlight the challenges they face and the solutions that can be implemented to improve their working conditions. So let's begin by exploring or discussing an example. I was talking to a friend, an Indian friend, who shared an interesting experience that he had while working with a particular team in a particular company. Both of which will not be named. Without getting into too many details, he had discovered that his team was manipulating SLA data to make their SLA targets. When he raised this to his senior management, what he did not expect was that his senior management would actually kick him off the team and then make efforts to damage his brand or reputation, basically stating that he's not a team player. This actually had a significant impact on him because up to that point, he had given, dozen plus years to this company. He had sacrificed for this company, and he always prided himself in doing the right thing. And what was surprising to him was that once he raised this to the senior management, he had assumed that being a senior manager, you would have certain ethics and values and morals and, rules that you would abide by. What he did not expect was that the senior management was taking or behaving in a manner that you would expect from a roadside vendor, right? So he went through a really hard time. He had to rebuild himself, and every opportunity that the senior management had, they would actually make an effort to undermine him, so that whatever he said, people would not believe, right? And this actually was a very large contract with the client, and the client had no awareness into what people behind the scenes were doing. So what I ask you is that when you work with these companies who focus on presenting green numbers by any means necessary, even if they destroy people along the way, you have to ask yourself, are you solely concerned on the numbers in terms of revenue, cost, and GP? Or are you concerned about the treatment of people? I know from a CFO position, they're largely going to be focused on numbers, right? But at some point or at some level in the organization, somebody out there has to focus on the people. We talk about sustainability, we talk about ESG, but so far all those are just, speeches from podiums, right? We talk about improving governance systems. We talk about taking care of the environment. We talk about doing things in a sustainable way, etc. But why not start with taking care of your people first, right? And the same statement that, I've heard it numerous times from a government perspective. You have to have a balance between giving aid to other countries who are struggling, but also taking care of your own people that are starving, that are homeless, that are dealing with mental health challenges, healthcare, policing, etc. So you as a company that is looking to hire these consulting firms or these outsourcing firms, you need to ask yourself, you need to do your due diligence and say, look past the horse and pony show. Look past the fancy presentations and see what people are saying about that company. So it's one thing to be on a golf course and shake hands, or to be in a expensive rooftop restaurant where you're negotiating these deals. And financially, it might be better for you to get into an agreement with these firms. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, are you enabling these firms to continue to mistreat the IT support staff and their employees overseas, where those employees don't have the same protections that we do in North America?